Good morning, students. Welcome back to our social studies lecture. This is our third session of chapter 3, Great Ruler of the Past. Today, we are going to know about a brave Maratha ruler, that is Shivaji. The year is 1627 AD and almost all the Bharat is under Islamic occupation. In the north, there are the Mughals under Shah Jahan. In Bijapur, there is a Sultan Muhammad Adil Shah, and in the Golconda, the Sultan Abdullah Qutub Shah. The Deccan Sultan always preferred to have Muslim officers in the army, but Portuguese controlled ports and Mughal controlled the land routes. It was not possible to get Muslim officers from North Africa or Central Asia. So, the sultans of Deccan were forced to appoint Hindu officers. One such Adil Shahi military commander was a Maratha named Shahaji Bhosle. Shahaji was a top general in the Adil Shahi Sultan. In 1630 AD, in the fort of Shivneri near Junnar, in present-day Maharashtra, a son was born to Shahaji and Jizabai. The son, named after the local deity Shivai, would grow up to be Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji's father was always away in his childhood, so his two role models growing up were Mother Jizabai and Guru Dadoji Kondev. Dadoji Kondev taught him warfare and administration, while Jizabai taught him Hindu religious scriptures. In India of 1646 AD, for a Hindu ruler to establish an independent kingdom, there had to three main conditions fulfilled. Number 1, area needed to be war away from imperial power center, agriculturally unimportant, with dense forests or for guerrilla warfare. Destiny fulfilled this condition around 1646 AD when Shivaji formed a group of staunchest supporters from local peasants called Mavalas. Shivaji had a good idea about the importance of forts in empire building. Therefore, the 15 years old Shivaji took control of the Torna, Chakan and Kondana fort by bringing the Adil Shahi commanders. These events refilled the Adil Shahi Sultanate. To stop Shivaji, they arrested his father. That is why Shivaji did not attack Adil Shah directly for the next 7 years. Slowly, he built a huge army commanded by Netaji Palkar, infantry by Yashaji Kank, and had 40 forts under his dominion. After this, Badi Begum of Bijapur requested Aurangzeb to help her. He sent his maternal uncle Shaiste Khan with 150,000 strong army. To add insult to injury, in 1664 AD, Shivaji ransacked the city of Surat, and wealthy Mughal trading center. Aurangzeb got angry and sent the 60 years old Rajput veteran Mirza Raja Jai Singh with a 150,000 strong army. Jai Singh won, and Shivaji had to give up 23 of his forts and pay compensation of 400,000 huns to the Mughals. He also had to go to Agra in 1666 with his 9-year-old son Sambhaji. The plan was to contain Shivaji by giving him a place in the prestigious Mughal court. But Aurangzeb made the mistake of humiliating Shivaji and placing him under house arrest. Shivaji feigned severe illness and requested to send daily shipments of sweets and gifts to sons and fakirs in Agra for his health. While that was going on, Shivaji, disguised as a laborer carrying a sweet basket, escaped on with Sambhaji. He took en route passing by Mathura, Kashi, Gaya and Puri and into the territory of Golconda and Bijapur before reaching Raigad. By 1670 AD, Shivaji launched a big offensive and in 4 months recovered a major portion of the territories surrendered to the Mughals. Finally, on 6 June 1674, Shivaji was crowned King of Marathas in the lavish Hindu ceremony at Raigad by Gaga Bhatt. Tilak, Geneva, and Vedic chanting, customs which had not been followed for centuries, were received. But it was not just his military achievements that made him great. Shivaji was a most able administrator. He never discriminated against any religions, and a lot of his generals were Muslims, including his personal bodyguards. He never disrespected women. He became the king of Marathas in 1674 CE and took the title of Chhatrapati. His capital was at Raigad. Thank you.